We know what the numbers tell us. We got to get those numbers up. We can do better.
VP and vaccines. Vice President Kamala Harris encouraging Georgians and all Americans to get the COVID vaccine during her visit to Atlanta yesterday. She stopped at Ebenezer Baptist Church for a pop-up vaccine clinic before heading to Clark Atlanta University. Right now, only 36% of Georgians are fully vaccinated. 42% have had at least one dose of the shot. The CDC schedules a new date for its emergency hearing on those rare cases of heart inflammation found in young people after getting the COVID vaccine. The agency was originally supposed to meet yesterday, but it was rescheduled to observe Juneteenth. That is now officially a federal holiday. The new meeting is expected to happen between June 23rd and the 25th. The CDC has documented more than 200 cases of young people, mostly men, and is reviewing 200 more.